Hello, everybody. Greetings, 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 blessings, blessings, blessings to everybody in another beautiful day in paradise. Getting there, getting there. Wow. The birds are singing, and I've made my house dark again because it's going to be strange weather. Really been battling this headache, this migraine. It's just slowly starting to lift now, which has been very interesting. So welcome. Thank you, Mr. Josh, for being here. We love you so much. Well, I absolutely love and am deeply in gratitude to you. Lindsay, I'm so glad you're back and around and bouncing again. Hello, Millie. Yeah, I think we all have. It's Mercury and Mars doing some crazy conjunction. I think it's in Pisces. I'm just tightening my seatbelt because I'm about to have 5 planets in Pisces, so for a while. So that's going to be really interesting. I'm just glad I have my sun there so I can see what's happening. Gift or curse, I'm never quite sure what it is. That's why I take the stuff also normally. Victor, hello, beautiful Victor. Thank you. You're shining more and more. And Scotty boy, love you so much. You came to visit today. Let's do a quick clearing. We've also elevated the temples. I'm just feeling hugely that we can, seeing as we're doing our personal temple, our holy temple, seeing as we're doing our home temple, we might as well just include some of the sacred temples at the moment. For me, in my space right now, it's a lot of temples, but the one I'm really want to clear, you can clear it with me or you cannot, are the Egyptian temples, because it's had many eons of abuse there. So there needs to be a lot of clearing, and if you feel called to do that, then join in. If you don't, totally understood. It's big work, and there's many other temples that need a lot of protection right now. As I said yesterday, a lot of us know what's going, or we have this thing, but unless you have a real big thing, don't get distracted. It's like the car accident where so many people almost everybody stops to stare. I remember my mother, it was a terrible car accident. We were very young at the time. It was a truck. It's very similar to the, what's his name, the Doors story. But my mother said, don't look. And I've disciplined myself throughout my life not to look or be involved in any dramas, because those energies come to Jim Morrison. Yeah, he had this thing that he had so many, it was a truckload of Indian migrant workers, and that they entered him. So yeah, so just be careful of that. Sorry, I didn't know where that just jumped in. But yeah, we don't need to be sideshow watchers. We need to be active, and I think we've got this amazing group. I'm really so proud of us. We are doing such amazing, huge work and just opening up to so much love. Yeah, rubbernecking. Yeah, thanks, Scotty. Beautiful, beautiful word. Yeah. And then you'll end up having an accident yourself. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just protect and heal and put beautiful energy into ourselves, the sacred tree of life. It's incredible how quickly this is working on different levels that you don't realize. I'm busy working on sacred tree cards, energy of trees. So it's coming anyway. So opening up our third eye. Opening up and healing our throat chakra. The one with 16 petals, it takes a lot of stress, a lot of strain. It holds the balance. And I just got some information, and it actually opens up the inner hearing. So as we work with this, you will hear a clear audience, but loudly, yeah? Not just the whispers in the head, healing our beautiful hearts, our 12-petaled lotus, which opens up 6 above and 6 below. It didn't open that way, it opens kind of that way. So it works with the base energies from the heart down to our base, the 3 base chakras, and the other 6 work to the 3 higher chakras, and our sacred temples in ourselves, knowing who we are. And because it's me and I like to know the hearing, the inner hearing. Yeah, that was really very interesting. It came up. I might do a thing about it, which is working with so just for all of us, just maybe go and have your thyroid checked, especially if you get older. It controls pretty much everything in life and within us. It controls the hearing, our hearing ability, and the cochlea and the crystals. So we have little crystals in our ear, and we have crystals here, obviously. But most of our, in our body develops also these incredible crystals, some good and some not so good. So let's just clear them, and let's just first make some holy smoke as a fragrant offering to the highest, to love. More love. Yes, more love. So working with the sacred 3, clearing up our higher chakra, our higher vortex, our midsection, our heart, and working with our base, connection to the earth, our wants and needs, our food, our addictions. Oh, lots of them to go out. Let's just burn a little more through some of the energy. Another nice thing that you can work with, we can do this while it doesn't want to go out. We can just put a beautiful flame in each of our chakras as we go up the 5 plus the 6 chakras. So if you want to just see your base chakra as a golden flame, your orange chakra, a beautiful golden fire, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, Om, and a beautiful golden flame sitting above your head. Letting it come down and coming back and settling in the heart. That was very interesting. So the smoke. Let it just clear and cleanse all the mucky, gunky areas. And let's use this beautiful, intense sound wave. Oops. Let it reverberate this beautiful, sacred, wonderful big ball. So, are you guys doing this with me? I hope you are. So, awakening our beautiful base, bringing in protection, bringing in guidance, bringing in a strong foundation with who we are, and focusing on thyroid nodules. Yeah, it actually your thyroid vibrates to the 33rd, to the 30th chakra. So this came up here, and the heart vibrates to the 25th spinal chakra. Thing. Removing all the crystallized energies that are holding us back from moving forward. May we walk forward with ease and grace into our heart without any drama, clearing the drama. Yes. Clearing the drama and the attachment to emotional grief and trauma and dress. May our hearts emit all 12 beautiful petals shining forward, and may we really acknowledge this beautiful pearl of absolute joy and divinity and bliss within the center of our being. May it radiate out as pearls of wisdom, and working with our upper energies, our sacred energies, that we can open and connect more clearly, clearing out the energy in our space, in our personal environment, and definitely clearing out the energies and bringing in the humbleness, the awe, and the sacredness back into the holy temples. Absolutely, Trista. Victor is doing incredible. He's doing just like doing amazing work. Thank you, Victor, very much for that. And yeah, said we did just my 2 pennies worth. Yeah, it's not 1 penny; it's 2 pennies worth on the temples. I mean, I said that quite a while ago, just when we worked a lot with PG on it, and I will actually post it tomorrow. The little advertisement I saw about the thing going down there, but it goes down over 2 kilometers, the city, into the earth at the bottom. And one of the reasons why Egypt is, and obviously all the technology that Tesla would be proud of, but what is really interesting is that where the Giza is situated, if you take lines from it, it's nowhere else in the world. It goes pretty much all over. It covers as much earth, land, versus going in the sea. Yeah. So this is a really powerful point. I'm not sure if it's the main point. Let's just not go there. Let's just. It is an incredibly huge point, and we don't. This was my main problem with it a little while ago when I was working with PG with this, is that they want to make it a another Disneyland, and then they'll have like McDonald's and all your curio shops and etc. And something popped up in my feed today. I don't do much. It's just like, what should I know right now? And it's actually they're going to do that. So anybody that's into fairy stuff and the fae stuff, they're wanting to do a similar thing to Glastonbury. I think it was 2 years ago, and this is latest. This is like got very few views right now, but it's like alert. This woman's having a petition, and it was really sad. It's like she's only got like 1,700 signatures at the moment. But what happened, I think it was about 2 years ago, I sent it out a little bit somewhere, was that at Stonehenge, they actually wanted to build a freeway through Stonehenge. So we knew that very much in South Africa. I think you have it all over the world. If they want to build a freeway, they'll just do it. So I signed a petition at the time also and spread it and put it on quite a few sites about this information with Stonehenge. But what they've done now, well, I suppose at least they've saved Stonehenge, but they've made it a UNESCO site. So you have to pay to go in. You're not allowed to go in. The Druids aren't allowed to go in there anymore and do any of their ceremonies. So it's just become another money-making thing. I said quite a while ago, when they discover any of these things, because they did that in, I never say it properly, Gabegli Teki. Yeah, they are absolutely insane, and this is where I feel if we've got the calling, or we can put some of our energy into that, versus doing all the rubbernecking, around the Giza at the moment, or with all the other grockles. There's lots. It's like, okay, guys, we're off from this mission. You're going on that mission. We're going on that mission. Put the energy out there. So yeah, they want to do the same thing. With Gobekli Teki, what they did, their Siemens, Germans are everywhere. The Germans are just keep uncovering their shit. But anyway, Siemens got involved, and what they did there was they built beautiful ramps, and so it's now a beautiful tourist attraction. I'm sure you have to pay money to go in there. I'm not sure about but I'm sure McDonald's and all of them are pretty close by. But what all of those ramps have done is that it stopped any more excavation. So read the big picture. So now they want to do the same with Glastonbury, much to my horror. So they want to also make it a UNESCO site so that it will all get sealed off. You won't be able to go up. Well, you can go up to the Tor if you pay. So with these, all these incredible druids that are really doing hard work there and going up and down the Tor 3 times a day. And it's a very, very powerful situation. I was actually just wondering what is actually underneath there. Because it is a very, very mighty holy site. It's very fey. So anybody that works with fairies, please go down there. Please tell your teams, invite your teams to put it out there that we don't want it to be. I don't know what will happen, but at least let's just put it on the map that this is what they want to do, because it is the heart chakra of the world. So there's this line between Mount Shasta and Glastonbury and Giza. It makes this new, beautiful, incredible, powerful pyramid. So if these people can't have access to it, it's going to be a little bit complicated. But I was just wondering what was underneath. So it must go down very far down as well, under the Tor. I did see a little bit. But yeah, it's a heart chakra of the world. It's Joseph of Arimathea was there. What else was there? I mean, besides lots. We'll get into that. I had it earlier, but I'm obviously not meant to go there right now. So trees. Oh, I have a little story, and this is particularly for Josh. Is Josh still here? Cool. Also just jumping about a little bit right now. Sometimes, yeah, that's what's happening. On my, they're banning people from going into these sacred sites. Yeah. Hey, they're not tourist attractions. They are our power points. It's the earth is waking up, and these are her chakras, and she has hundreds of them. Yeah, it's like our body. We don't just have 7 chakras. We have got hundreds in our body. Real, that's what acupuncture is all about. So those are all minor chakras. I mean, in our hands we have chakras, in our feet we have chakras. So and thank you, Millie, for posting that about the Fae. And also, I was looking for it, but I've got 100 diaries here, and maybe it was probably just the one that I've actually got in front of me. It was actually maybe I'll find it tomorrow. My head has really been serious pounding. The Mother Mary chakras, the new chakras of the Holy Mother. If you work with the Holy Mother, please work with her. She's very, very much there. She's always the Divine Mother. I can think about off the top of my head, do I know? But I wanted to give you the meanings of them as well. But it starts with sapphire blue at the bottom. These are our new chakra system. It's sapphire blue, gold. I'm not sure if it's pink or white. No, let me green. No, let me ruby. But we're working with the golden ruby heart right now. That's what's really been opening up. And huge huge big blobs, big blobs, gloopy blobs, like a lava lamp of golden energy today. Kebe, hello beautiful, hello Hini, hello Yolanda. I'm really like working beautifully with, it's like don't go anywhere without him for now, just because of all the deeper meaning that he holds. And if you don't do Ganesha, do what he holds. Yeah, if it's just the protection and the protection of our new way, the protection of our new earth, the protection of our arts and our science. That's what's really important. It just popped in and it just felt that it should be very much something I wanted to just share, particularly for Josh. But for everybody, is that to say, it's be your own guru. But it's actually a story in I think it's in Diary of a autobiography of a yogi. Another very interesting book, if people have got the time to read, is Biography of a Yogi by, I think his name is Philip Goodman. Philip Goldberg. He wrote, because he said there were just so many pieces missing. So he did a very deep dive into what else was happening in Yogananda's life while he was building up this incredible. And what he really focused on was the science of meditation, the science of Kriya, which is a science. It's like Feng Shui for me is a science. It's not a woo thing. People misconstrue all these things very much. Just while I'm on that with meditation, I did mention it a long time ago, but to meditate, to sit, is actually, and it's amazing. We just sit, and nobody's really telling us how to sit. But you sit and you put your left foot right in that base chakra between your bum, yeah, and that's where the heel sits. And then you can put the other leg, and it's actually, it really opens up. It does a completely different opening up of your hips, so that energy can move up and down. You can put the other leg on, or you can sit. He just says it, but he's never told you exactly what he's doing. Is Sadhguru. He sits and he says he can sit like that for hours, and you can with your left leg. And what it's doing is it's awakening that base chakra. Yeah, it's tuning you into the earth and tuning you into the higher realms. And then the other leg flat on the ground if you're sitting on a chair. So just try it for yourselves. It's a really beautiful way to meditate, to actually, it opens the hips and helps clear the base chakra and obviously the sacral chakra. But you're putting pressure onto your very first, so that just awakens everything. So the little story, I'm going to just paraphrase it because I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it is, and it goes for all of us, but I just really felt I wanted to share it with Josh if he's here. Yeah. There was an island, and on the island were three wise men, three little old men, and they just lived there away from the whole of society. And all they prayed all day, I can't remember what they prayed, but it was, we are three, we are one, we are holy, we are one with the sun. You can make whatever up. I'm just making that up. And some great bishop heard about these so-called holy men on the island. So he made it his business to go up to them and say, blessings to you, but you're not praying right. Let me teach you how to pray correctly. And he gave them all these long prayers and these long mantras and how to worship and how to do this and these long, and these more beautiful mantras to work with. And they were very, very grateful. They said, thank you so much for coming here and teaching us properly and telling us how to properly the mantras that you think that would be more helpful to us. And he left off on his boat, and he was quite a way into the sea. And the next thing he saw these 3 little wise men running on the water, running up to catch up with him. And they said, "We're so sorry, Father, so sorry, Reverend, Blessed Bishop, but we forgot the mantras. Could you please tell them to us again?" And he was incredibly humbled, and he said, "No, you don't need my mantras. You're doing just fine the way you are." I hope you guys got it. They had no problem running on the water. So just be strong and be firm in what you believe. For all of us, don't be swayed too much. Be open, but just especially now, be really, really in tune and focus on what you're doing and focus on recommitting yourself, writing a new contract and putting it into physical steps, how you're going to manifest it. The other thing is today, my walk. So I go to my tree very briefly today, but I missed my willow tree at the lake. And there, under the willow tree, is a gift for me, is a cypress branch. A cypress is, the nearest cypress is about 1/2 kilometer away. We've got a line of cypresses near me here, but they're none near the lake, not that I know of. So, hello, Scotty. I do believe that, I think I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm overstepping my thing, but when I wanted to do that, the tree energy with willow, and she'd already stopped and I read it. I think that Scotty got cypress. So I just took this and held it very close to my heart. And thank you, Scotty, for being there. And I send you lots of huge blessings today. So thank you for the tree energy. I really appreciate it. And remember, once you start talking to the trees, they don't stop. I mean, you've got to just renew it again. They'll jump out at you. Yeah, I'm really so yeah. So anybody wants, I've started doing some. I must probably put it in a book because I can't have cards printed. Oh, what is breakfast? I had tacos today. I have to chew munch. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And I've been okay. Too complicated for me. Cyprus is wonderful. I don't know what but I know that there's mushroom music. Sorry, I love mushroom music. Have you heard the mushroom music? I don't know what are you talking about, Trista? I'm hesitant to use the magic kind. I'm not sure. I'll go through it later. Enjoy. You make me so hungry. We'll call this the superfood channel. Microdosing, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Well, Scotty, you had me giggling the whole night and the whole day that you'd drink more water. Absolutely. It's just microdosing, guys. Millie's microdosing. We don't want to wipe the planet out. We're just microdosing. And just when I started, God, I was in the 70s still when I started working with palmistry and graphology. And my father was big with handwriting. You can't hide the stuff, and everybody's going to sign their signature. So he was very good on that stuff. But if you do a photocopy of your hands, you can read the lines much easier. All those little lines that you don't always see them. But if you do a photocopy, you can also sit on it. I know that was more raucous and more entertaining for most people if you sit on the photocopy machine. You can see the planets, but just do the photocopy of your hands. You can do one of your face as well. It was also awesome. Photocopy machines are quite fun. No, we definitely don't want to share this stuff with people. Thank goodness for computers. It's why the Druids also didn't write things down, because things were open to being misconstrued. It was only word of mouth that they passed things on, unless, I suppose, hopefully, that it's written in stone down in the temples, in some of the temples. Yeah, they're illegal, but they also illegal here. But truffles aren't. So I don't know how that works in the States. Have a look. Yeah. But it will be because people, we're going to demand it, and there's just so many real scientific tests coming out about it. First, it starts with us funny people, and that's why we need to just keep going. And there's just it's huge. The magenta, the ruby rose heart, the root. So anybody that's working with magenta. When I first lost my sight, that's what I just saw was magenta and sapphire blue, and I didn't lose all my sight. It's so interesting what you can see. You can see big things. They look like they're underwater. But I saw sound a lot. So every time that there was a sound, it would have different vibrations of blue and sparks. I still see it quite a lot, but not as much as I did. But I think I just see other interesting things right now. It's just all mellowed. So it obviously awakened a whole pile of DMT in my head. I think that's what's happening. Today is also an incredibly special day, being the 25th of March. And it does go back to Fae times, but it goes back also that what we know, if you know that the 1st of April was New Year. After the equinox, New Year was celebrated on the 1st of April, which is why people call you an April Fool, which was because people would then, they changed it with the Gregorian calendar. But people would wish people Happy New Year on the 1st of April, and that's why they'd call them an April Fool. But originally it was the New Year's Day. And on the 25th, there was this break of, is it 7 days, I think, imagine? Yeah, 7 days between the 25th of March and the 1st of April, when it goes back to the Fae Kingdom, where the Fairy Queen would choose her ladies in waiting. And in the English court, they would also, it was a week where they did all the bookkeeping. They finished off with all the numbers and the taxations and the expenditure, but also it was when she would do her interviews and choose her ladies in waiting on the 25th of March. So enjoy that day. So anybody that tunes into that, enjoy that energy and sparkle and shine with it. Maybe you'll be called in to be a beautiful lady in waiting to the Fairy Queen. And that's about all I've got for today. I'm going to enjoy my head that's coming out free and a bit clearer right now in the last hour. I am just working very much on the earth, the new earth, working with the animals. That's where I'm protecting right now. But I jump between realms. I do bother a lot about the technology. So, yeah, well, it all gets abused, doesn't it? Yeah. And that's the problem with what's happened in the West, all this negative and, instead of just, it's the West. It's the West, and people tuned in and tapped into that Egypt stuff, which was so full of incredibly powerful formulas, magic, if you want to call it that, but formulas, yeah. So, unfortunately, that is so. So just don't go down that. It's a very fine line. And that's I've heard what was actually with Kelly. She went to Glastonbury. Kelly goes to a lot of the smaller unknown sites, which has also been really wonderful. But she said the energy at Glastonbury it's not nice. It's very, very heavy. There's a lot of darkness there. So if you remember that beautiful story I spoke about yesterday. Mhm. Thanks, Millie. You always do that. I call this in my head, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4 show. It was the day I got my sound back, my voice. The first time that I went live, remember I was on mute and couldn't figure out how to um, go unmute. No, you shouldn't feel that much. You should just feel more mellow. Yeah. And I mean, it works just because, yeah, they did tests and studies with that way back in the 60s and before, that it worked so well, LSD and mushrooms for trauma. But hey, they like us to be traumatized because then we don't function and then we're easier to program. So when we don't have all this trauma, or we've risen above our trauma, or riding the waves of our power, no matter how small it is or how big it is, we're not drinking, we don't need the alcohol, we don't need the chemical medications, we don't need to smoke ourselves into oblivion or into a big smoke screen around us, we don't need the pornography, we don't need the clothing because we're making our own beautiful things. So yeah, it's a big problem that's going to be for what is it? Those people that make money for marketing and manufacturers and all of that. Yeah. Meditation, medication versus meditation. I don't do medication. I got a big fright with the medication when I had all of this with my head and how addictive. And I mean, I just thought, oh wow, one tablet, I don't have to take all of them, but it was seriously addictive. And I just took myself off on cold turkey with it. But anyway, that's another thing. Yeah, I want to try. I want to get truffles because they're not illegal here, and you can get them from Holland. So maybe in summer I will take a journey up to Holland and get some interesting things. But they do that. But mushrooms are illegal in Europe. But as I say, look into truffles. It's like they have similar properties. Yeah. And I don't know if truffles that people, these expensive truffles that people eat in cooking. Um, yeah, yeah, and that would also that whole industry would also have a problem. Yeah, the eat, drink, and be merry industry. Yeah, because we wouldn't demand those things. We wouldn't demand all the things that hurt the animals. Yeah. Anyway. It was just so interesting also that DMT is actually it's in everything. Every living thing has DMT. And it's really ridiculous that they don't actually let us have it. Mhm. Yeah. When my son was born, I had a cesarean, and people misconstrued me because I said it. I suppose I'm not clear with what I say. But I said, "Oh God, yeah, I was angry. I was annoyed because I'd missed out on the drugs. Not the drugs. I wouldn't take drugs. I do this, but I'm pretty good at coping with pain. But I wanted the drugs that the body secretes. Yeah, and I got denied that by having a cesarean. And I think it's DMT. Now I know it's DMT, and the babies also have this huge surge of DMT when they're born, and mother does as well. And I had a friend who refused to breastfeed her baby because she had such a traumatic time of birth. And when you breastfeed, it actually secretes a chemical that makes you forget the pain of childbirth. Otherwise, most people would only have one child. Yeah. So she refused to breastfeed. She wanted to remember the trauma, so she never had another child. Yeah, there's so many heavy traumatic stories of childbirth. I think almost everybody has a traumatic. Yeah. KB, that was so interesting. Mine was horrible, but I didn't have a support system. And I watched people who had support, and even now have a support system around them. And like within a week, they're up and walking around and absolutely fine. I was green. I went completely, my face, I had so much pain. It was like really not cool at all. Yeah, but it was interesting because I had such, and it was just, yeah, birthings are really interesting because we can plan and plan and plan, but the universe usually has something completely different to offer us. So I'd planned on a water birth and music and oils and all sorts of wonderful things, but I did it slowly afterwards, and I did a lot of bathing with him and burning of oils and healing, magical healing. So, and a lot of, so that's all comes with part of the postpartum blues as well. So anyway, enough of birthing. We're all birthing ourselves beautifully. Just keep as even as possible. It's definitely a time for renewing your commitments and your dedication, and stay on your path. Remember why you began and remember why you started. Maybe go back to that and focus on that, and just recommit and be firm with who you are and who you know yourself to be and where you know yourself to be going. So we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody, and everybody that's going to watch the replay. Thank you for loving and liking so much. I really, really appreciate all of you. If you have a beautiful tree that you want me to make up a magical image and a beautiful oracle meaning, you can pop it in the chat today or tomorrow, and I will send you your very own beautiful tree. I've done some beautiful ones at the moment. So yeah, we wanted home birth, but they didn't. And then afterwards, I was in so much pain, and I had a midwife who was lovely, but her son had just committed suicide, so she refused to give me any medication, and I was anyway. Sometimes you have to just be sensible. Yeah, it's very harsh without support. Yeah. I had such a beautiful. I had a little vision, whatever, insight yesterday of a lot of this mathematical stuff that's coming out now, all the science, and it's going to be solved by young children. Most of our older people are too set in the ways, and we want a particular resolution, or we're not prepared to work through some of the metaphysical stuff or the unseen stuff to get to a solution. And it does say a small child will lead them. So look after our young children well and keep them in a safe space. Yeah. So there've been a lot of, like, all over the world where children are just seeing these and interpreting the codes that are coming down and the maths. There's lots of stored things that I could tell you. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So just remember that we need a little bit of help there in Glastonbury at the moment. We definitely don't want it to become a UNESCO site, because that will close it off, and we'll have McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and fish and chips. I was so blessed to see a lot of the world before it became touristy. I'm very, very blessed indeed. And cheap Chinese things from tourist things. You couldn't buy them, they didn't exist. Anyway, love you, everybody. Thank you, Yolanda, Kebe, Angela. Kebe, I'll try and get hold of your email. It's difficult for me to find it. Trista, Victor, if he's still here. Lindsay, love you lots, Lindsay. And Josh, wherever he is. Oh, he's at the shop right now. He did pop in. I hope he heard the story. So I hope that story was helpful for anybody. You can find it. I think, as I said, it is from the autobiography of a yogi, somewhere in there. So lots. KB, thank you. Is that your YouTube? Let me just write this down. Board of cards. I want to remember it. My brain cell has only got one enormous brain cell. Okay. I don't even have pens. Do you know that I have to go to town, and I really don't want to go to town. I've used up all my pens. We'll connect. Love you, everybody. Go and sparkle, go and shine, go and glop, glop, glop. Those beautiful, it's like those old, what were they, those plasma lamps? Do you remember those beautiful plasma lamps? It's what's big gloops. So if you feel a gloop on your head, just allow it to trickle down. So healing the temples, keeping our own temple beautifully clean, breathing up and down the spine, pure, beautiful golden energy, walking around with a golden disc above, golden ball of sacred sparkling energy above us, a beautiful golden heart with a golden lotus with a beautiful pearl inside, and with magnificent roots into the earth. Love you, everybody, and we will celebrate and see you tomorrow with PG. Have an awesome, awesome day. Much love, love, love.